Namaskar. I'm Chitra Kerkar. I'm going to share with you some of my experiences and my thinking onto it for my practice of coaching and counseling. Let's start with two examples. When I met Anita was a happy house person, enjoying his life, had a loving husband, has two daughters, and the daughters are doing very well in their careers. The only point of worry for Anita was she was a gold medalist in commercial artist when she was taking education. But now she had the feeling that she is not using that particular talent. That artistic talent was lying just unused. And she had a feeling now that at the age of 45, probably she won't be able to use that thing. There were many impediments, somewhere psychological, somewhere mental blocks, somewhere the realistic blocks, but then somehow Anita couldn't make that particular thing. And then we started life coaching, and within a year, Anita started her commercial studio. And now she is doing her assignments very successfully. The another case is of Mr. Rajesh. Mr. Rajesh was a successful established businessman, earning very well, had a very good family. So the family life was also very good. But then somewhere deep down the mind, he had the dream to raise his business bar up to the next level. He was trying for it, but somehow the things were not working in a proper way, and so the result was not coming. He has almost started getting frustrated because of that. And then we met and we started executive coaching and working on to it, and within a few months he started seeing the result. Now it has been 5 years, he has crossed the level of the business which he wanted to, obviously, and then he has gone ahead of that particular level to achieve the particular thing. The names and the details of the cases was obviously changed. By now you must have guessed that I am talking about what. There is a huge transformation in both these cases. And so I am going to talk today about transformation. Now in my 20 years of practice of coaching and counseling, I have seen many people who want transformation, who want change. Probably the change might not be so big as that were in these two cases. It might be very small change, that they want to start doing exercise in their daily life, they want to change the time of their dinner, but then that thing is not happening. There is a gap, there is, you can say, huge gap between wanting the change and doing the change. If you ask people that if they want the change, everybody will say that yes, we do want the change, but doing the change will be a different kind of process altogether. And so in everyday's life, we are challenged, we are asked, and we want the change. Now we need to see that how we will be able to do the change. In today's time, when we are facing the challenge of Corona, obviously the life is going to be different before Corona and after Corona. And one of the difference would be that the transformation would be required. There will be transformation across the globe, across the countries, and obviously on our individual level also, we will need to make many changes and many transformation. So this is the right time to know what and how of the transformation. So I am going to tell you, I am going to talk with you about what and how of the transformation. What of transformation is very simple. It is nothing but the 3 steps. The 3 steps are awareness, acceptance, and action. And how of transformation is, I am coming with 2 particular perspectives in psychology which I am using in my practice. They are nothing but mindfulness and narrative therapy. So let's see first the what part of transformation. In what part, before going to that particular part, I will give you one particular question, that will you be like to be a well-informed person, a knowledgeable person, or a wise person? You will say, Chitra, all 3 is very good. Being well-informed is also good, being knowledgeable too is very, very good, and being wise is excellent. So, if you want to be all 3, let's see how we can change from being well-informed to being knowledgeable to being a wise person. We are living in a world which is full of information. Rather, we are living in a world with information explosion. There are so many sources by which the information is just gushing on to us. I need not name the sources. There are so many social medias, books, news channel, your family, friends. So we are full of information. Information are at our fingertips. You just say that you want that particular information and the information is available. But then that availability of information doesn't make you a well-informed person. What is needed for being a well-informed person is you need to hold that information into awareness when it comes to you. Most of the time, we don't hold the information into awareness. That would be the first step of transforming the loads and loads of sentences, images, and whatever form the information is there with you to being a well-informed person. So if we hold the information in awareness, we will start to get some understanding that how we will use that information and things like that. So the first step to convert, you can say, the loads and loads which we are just carrying, probably it is just like garbage because we are not using it, is to first hold that information into awareness. When you start holding that information into awareness, you have climbed the first step of becoming a well-informed person. Then from well-informed person, if you want to become a knowledgeable person, what is the step? It is a simple step of acceptance. You will again say, what, Chitra? Once we have understood that information is useful, what is the difference between accepting? We have already accepted that information. We are not denying that information. There is a difference between acceptance. What I'm saying as acceptance. Just imagine that when you accept a particular person in your life, what you do? You give a space to that particular person. You try to relate with that person. You start viewing that how that person will be useful for you, how you will be useful for the person. So building up the relationship, giving space to the person, being kind enough, and sort of expressing love and holding that person with love and working with him or her. And that's what we are doing. So same thing we need to do with information. When we are accepting the information in our life, it means we need to create space for that information. After creating the space, we need to relate with that information. How we can relate with that information? It simply means that we need to connect that information with the other information that is available with us. It might be information, it might be knowledge, or it might be wiseness that you have gathered over the years. But that connection between the two and then working on it in a very loving manner, in a very accepting manner is necessary. Let's take an example so that it will be very clear to you. For example, from childhood itself, all of us are knowing that doing exercise is very good for our physical and mental health. It's a piece of information which is a very good piece of information. Knowing that particular thing, how many of you have started doing exercise? Obviously, most of you will say no. Very few of you would have started doing the exercise. So what is holding you back? You are having the information that doing exercise is very good for your physical and mental health, and still you are not doing the exercise. What is stopping you is because you have not accepted that piece of information in your life. Once you will start accepting, now here accepting means what? You will start thinking that if doing exercise is good for life, let me think that how can I do the exercise? It means you accept, you create space, you start creating space for doing exercise in your life. You might think that, oh, I need to get up early to do the exercise. Then what will I do? Shall I go for a walk? Or there is a facility in my complex available for swimming. Can I go for swimming? Or you will say, no, all that thing takes a lot of efforts. I will do yogasans at home. You will say that yogasans is not my cup of tea. I will go from Zumba class or something like that. See, you can see the difference. It has just not remained the information which was not moving. It is flowering in your life. It is expressing in your life because you have given some space. You are looking at it in a very loving manner. You are allowing it to occupy the space in your life. So relating to it, thinking on the information, planning about the information, and devising the application of that information in your life is what will make that piece of information knowledge in your life. And that's how you will start transforming yourself from being just a well-informed person to be a knowledgeable person. Now, what is the difference between the knowledgeable person and wise person? You will say now you are knowing also how to use that application, how to apply that information in our life. Now, what is the difference in the wiseness? I have a very excellent example from our soil of Maharashtra. The example is of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. His guru, Sri Samartha Ramdas Swami, has called him a wise king. See the words, very beautiful word as wise king. Samartha Ramdas Swami didn't call Maharaj as a well-informed king or as a knowledgeable king. What must have made Samartha Ramdas Swami to call Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as wise king? If we see the life story of Maharaj, we will see that he did gather information. A lot of information he gathered. He gathered the information about the Maharashtra, about the lifestyle of the people, about the tyrannical rule of various different enemies that Maharaj were facing. Obviously the loopholes, the strong points of the enemies, strong point of self, and all that particular thing, a lot of information he gathered. So that is why he became a well-informed person. Then he thought about the information. In today's world, if we go to see, he did a lot of brainstorming. He did the brainstorming with self. He was having very well, you can say, meditative states also, and in that also he thought over the information. At the same time, he did brainstorming with all his ministers and Ashtapradhan Mandal and all that we are doing. So after doing brainstorming, after doing planning, for every single war or every single step that has been taken, you will say it was a well planned thing. So taking the information, then doing a lot of thinking onto it, relating the pieces of information with each other, and then converting it into a usable plan, that is applied kind of information, is what is the knowledge. That's what the Maharaj made it. The most beautiful thing is Maharaj didn't stop after gaining that particular knowledge. He acted on it. And so now friends, you must have gathered that to convert the knowledge into wiseness, what is required is action. Once you make a particular plan, we need to put that plan into action. And many of the time, we find it difficult to keep on doing that particular action. For example, the same example which we have taken, that we have converted now the information that doing exercise is very good for health to knowledge, that how we are going to do the exercise in our life. Now what is required is to work that particular application that we have thought. It means what? Nothing. It just means that we have to start doing exercise. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, and that's how we will go on doing the exercise. As you will go on doing the exercise, in few days, few months itself, you start getting revelations. You will start getting some insights, and that insights will start happening in your body itself. You will start feeling that you are feeling more energetic, your weight is going down, you are sleeping better, your hunger has improved, your immune system is working well, you are feeling enthusiastic. All that particular thing, the benefits of the exercise which you are feeling, now you will start experiencing it in your body. And that experience itself, that insights itself will start making you a wise person. Rather, you can start resonating that wiseness through your body. Now I think friends, all of you have understood what of transformation very well. It is nothing but taking a piece of information, working on it, planning on it, accepting that thing in your life, very lovingly allowing it to blossom in your life, and then working on it, putting that particular thing into action. What of the thing is important, and equally how of the thing is important. So now we will see the how part of transformation. The how part of transformation, as I said, that I am giving you two types of approaches in the psychology. They are nothing but mindfulness and narrative therapy. What is mindfulness? If we see the definition as it is on your screen, it is nothing but putting attention on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmental. These three words are very, very important. This is a new definition in the modern sciences which is given by Jon Kabat-Zinn, a person who is doing a lot of research on mindfulness. Rather, a very pioneering type of research has been done by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Obviously, this particular mindfulness concept is not new to our Indian mind, because from Upanishads, from Vedic period, we are knowing something which is as Sakshi Bhav or Drashta Bhav. The concept is very similar to that particular thing. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is nothing but awareness of the awareness, or awareness of thinking, awareness of action. Whatever you are doing that particular thing, so your mind is involved into doing that particular thing, but at the same time you are aware. For example, if we say when you are doing some action, and if you are aware that you are doing that particular action, it is nothing but you are involving in mindfulness. For example, if you are eating, you pay full attention to what you are eating. You are using all your senses and putting the attention onto it. Full attention, being in the present moment, and non-judgmental. When we start doing like that, whatever activity we are doing, it starts speaking to us. We start getting much more information from it. It allows us to, because we are doing it non-judgmentally, it allows us to show the love and acceptance to that particular information, and in that awareness mode when you start acting, then also the revelations or the insight starts coming very clear. So the one approach that we will be using is mindfulness to do the transformation, and the other approach is nothing but narrative approach. What is narrative approach? You all will agree that our lives are nothing but story. It's a different kind of story which every person is having. Now, if we combine this mindfulness and narrative approach, if we start becoming aware of our story, if we start giving attention to the story through Sakshi Bhav or through Drashta Bhav, being present when we are working through the story, we will be able to change the script of the story very well. First, we will gather the information of the script of our own story. Then we will be able to think on that information in a very aware manner by being totally present, and then we will be able to change that information, transform that information. So I think you must have got now the what and how of transformation. This is what is needed in everyday's life, and now it would be needed, as we say, that as the entire globe is going to go through the transformation. So if you have liked this particular video, you can share it, like it. I will be coming repeatedly on the YouTube channel through this series of transformation. If you have any queries regarding that, you can definitely write it to me on the email address given on the screen, that is cnkerker75@gmail.com. Thank you very much for giving attention and listening very carefully, and see you soon.